dial. You are tuned in to the Mark Order Podcast. Join the Mark Order.
Whoa. Well, hello there. It is Saturday night, and you know that's the night that you and we collide. I'm Ryan, and I'm with Joe, and we are the Mark Order Podcast. I will figure out an exact intro to this thing eventually, but for right now, I'm just welcoming you to the Collidercast, hoping everyone's having a good Saturday night to begin. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's just Saturday. Got my errands done today, and let's see. Last weekend, I met Tugboat. So it's been a week.
Oh, you met Tugboat?
Yeah, Fred was at an event in Omaha for some like comic and toy show. So he was there with a Shockmaster helmet and everything else.
I've had a very. I'm not gonna. Sorry for all the listeners. You're not gonna figure out where I've been, but I've had a very hectic last week and a half. How was Tugboat? I missed all this. How was Tugboat?
Oh, he was good. I didn't mention it Wednesday night, but I mainly went there to look for toys for some collectible things. But he was just he was there. He didn't quite seem like his thing. I feel like his line wasn't very long. Maybe like 4 or 5 people at a time.
I feel bad. I think because of what the Shockmaster was, he has a huge place in wrestling for a very humiliating thing, but no one talks about him otherwise. And like Tugboat and Typhoon was a pretty decent run for him.
Yeah.
This is what the fun of the Collidercast is before we start. Scott George is just here for our intro and exit, I realize. He always talks about the guitarist.
Hey, whatever gets him here.
That's true. So he was Tugboat from 89 to 91.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was part of the Natural Disasters from 91 to 93. Okay, so and then he became the Shockmaster, Uncle Fred, during the 93 through 94. So he had 89 through 93, which is not a short run. I mean, in wrestling, that's pretty decent for not being a... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, 89 through... for not being a... really a main eventer. That's not a terrible run, especially in those years. Natural Disasters are actually a fun team. I wish they had done a little bit more with them, but and for whatever reason, I know I didn't get a chance to watch it, but apparently there's the Earthquake Dark Side of the Ring out now.
Oh, I haven't seen that either. Yeah,
I just haven't had in me to watch something like that this week, because if it's on Dark Side of the Ring, it's not going to be an overly positive experience because it's Dark Side of the Ring.
Other than that, I booked a hotel for Minneapolis for next year in case WrestleMania happens to be there.
That's actually very smart.
I found one that could reserve and reserve now, pay later. I have until April 3rd, 2025 to cancel it. So,
oh, well, I mean, hey, that's when they were. We're going back now 13 years, but when the Winter Classic still meant something in hockey, because it doesn't anymore. I don't care what he tells me. They've oversaturated the market. When the real Winter Classic still meant something, Flyers were going against Boston in Boston at Fenway. I think it was the second year they were doing it, and it hadn't been announced yet, but there were the rumors. And I did what you did. I went and got a hotel room ahead of time, figuring I'll cancel. Well, it was announced, so I ended up going.
Right. Yeah, I figured there's enough. There's some tea leaves out there, and with the I think that council meeting and talking about an event coming to Minneapolis that's second to the Super Bowl as far as economic impact, it seemed like a pretty good bet that WrestleMania is going to Minneapolis, but
They don't really like to announce WrestleMania for next year until, like, I think they do it during the WrestleMania of this year.
right. And they said, they announced it in a few weeks, which would be WrestleMania time. So,
Yeah, I mean, if I remember, that's how they did it before. They announced it during the WrestleMania. And Scott saying that Earthquake's Dark Side of the Ring really wasn't that dark. Well, that's good to know, because then I'll watch it. I don't really want to watch The Hobbit, The Battle for Five Armies, but it's on.
I have
Did you watch Rampage?
I think I did. Yes.
You did. Anything stick out to you?
I don't remember anything. I watched it this morning, so I didn't watch it last night. I don't remember much. See, Julia Hart defending her title against one of the Renegades.
I think there's only one Renegade wrestling right now.
Oh, really?
If I recall Robin, because it's Robin who wrestled, saying like Charlotte's taking some time off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for injury or for other reasons. But
Trent and Orange seem to work well in a tag team against who they face.
I don't know what they're calling the team, but it was I love them, Kip Sabian and the Butcher.
Yeah. So
is the Blade hurt, or is he gone? I don't know.
You got ringside. Yeah,
that's weird. I'm sorry, I forgot. Just a weird group. I mean, Penelope Ford wasn't there, which sucks, but
yeah,
I like her.
But I don't feel like she's been around very much.
No, but OC and Trent have obvious good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Mike Kills. If you're at GCW, go up to Kate and tell her you want a Coke from her because of me. She still owes me a Coke. You're allowed to take it from her. Not Coke, a Coke.
Coke?
No, I'll tell the story. I don't care. We're on the cruise. This is actually really funny. And it's relevant. We're on the cruise. And Kate goes, hey, I'm going to get a drink. Do you want anything? I'm like, I have a free I had a unlimited soda pass on my card because I know I didn't go out soda. I'm like, yeah, here's my card for soda. Just get me a Coke. And she's like, great. She comes back. She goes, I lost my card, so I bought a drink on yours, which was fine. I told her she could do it.
Sure.
There was earlier in the day she thought she had lost it, but she didn't. And at that time I was like, hey, here's mine. You're more than welcome to get a drink on mine if you can't find your card. So she knew that I didn't care. She didn't get me a Coke. Went back saying, oh, I got a drink on your card because I lost mine. Here's your card. And then walked away to go talk to Veda Scott and didn't hand me a Coke. Apparently she left my Coke on the counter.
Typical.
So the whole joke then, and we ended up finding her card later on, but the whole joke then was that she owed me a Coke the entire cruise because literally you should have seen it. Walks up, goes, oh, I didn't have my card, so I don't know if I like this.
What's that?
Sorry. I got distracted. I love the new stage, but I loved Collision's stage.
Well, I wonder if this is just because this is a pre-tape.
Then yes. Okay, yes.
I'm hoping that's it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the tunnels being back. I'm a big tunnel boy, but yeah, so that's been the joke. So Mike was there, and Mike got me a Coke at some point on that trip. So Mike, you're more than welcome to go get a Coke from Kate. But yeah, I liked the tag match between Cassidy and the best friends versus whatever that group is. I'm a big Kip Sabian fan. I don't think they use him enough.
Right.
I think he should be. I mean, this is the whole problem with ROH in general, but I think he should be a major ROH figure. He should be going for the TV title. He should be going for the heavyweight title. Like, he can wrestle and he can talk. You really don't get that a lot. So, and also go back to Trio's complaint that I always have. Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian is a great trio that could really do some damage in that division if they let them.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
We have Danielson walking out for anyone wondering where we are on the Collision side of things.
It feels like,
he's going from.
feels like a better Collision this week than last week.
I'll be honest, I didn't say it. I was out of it.
I feel like
Shane Taylor.
Yeah, this feels like ROH, right? This is ROH Collision.
So this is pre-taped again?
Yeah, they taped this after Dynamite.
How come?
I have no idea. If you haven't seen the spoilers, good for you.
It's been that type of week for me. Be nice if I spoke pre-taped and not prepared. I don't trust the site, but they might tell me why. Anyone in chat knows why it's pre-taped. I'd love to know. That's just an interesting.
Is Shane Taylor and them, are they a little bit more prominently featured on ROH at least?
Not as much as they should be. I feel like they're going to be an AEW act, but
maybe they're waiting to see, to hopefully get when Keith Lee gets healthy again.
Say it again.
I said maybe they're hopefully waiting until Keith Lee is healthy.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that would be the theory to give you the third, because it does feel like they kind of need that third. I just want to know why it's pre-taped. Was there any chance it could get pushed back or something? No, they were showing The Hobbit.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I think some scheduling issue.
Again, it doesn't really matter to me if this is something they're going to start doing. It's something they're going to start doing, but I don't think it is. I don't think this is going to be their never going.
That would make for an awfully long Dynamite. You got Dynamite, they're taping Rampage, and then you're taping Collision.
I've been to those Dynamites before.
Yeah.
What was it? What did they tape? It was.
That's like a 6-hour show then.
Yeah, I've been to some. I forget what it was, but it was brutal. And as much as I love whatever, that's just too much wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will say,
back to
value for the.
They would do Dynamite and then Dark and then Rampage.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. You know what it was? It was when they did it was a Grand Slam and they did a 2-hour Rampage after. So, but the problem is, as much as this is value for the fans going, hey, we get to see more wrestling and get more for our dollars, which is something nice. You're not keeping them throughout the entire show. Your people are leaving because you have kids. You have you'd have a better, and I'm not saying they're going to do this because they shouldn't, but you'd have a better chance taping Saturday, being live Saturday and taping for Wednesday, because at least it's a Saturday night. People might be like, we could stick it through. But when you're on a Wednesday, if you got a parent with kids and stuff, you're going home. This is an interesting match, by the way. Not something I ever thought I'd see.
No.
I mean,
no, I don't know. No real reason to it. Just
yeah.
Are you I know you didn't probably catch Dynamite live, but are you excited about the possibility of Danielson and
I mean, how can you not be? I did actually go back and watch the matches. Ospreay's had 2 incredible bangers in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is, and I don't generally care about ratings in the sense of like I'm not a ratings geek. I geek about a lot of things that people probably don't care about. Ratings aren't one of them. The only thing I ever cared about was that it's on TV and enough people were watching to justify getting re-signed and stuff like that because I just want AEW on my TV. All that being said, the main event was pretty low, relatively low for the show. And some people are suspecting is it because Osprey's just not viewed as a star yet. Now, neither is Kyle Fletcher. The easiest way to make Osprey a quote unquote star is to just put him against Bryan Danielson. He's gonna hold his own. Like you're not gonna, he's not gonna be lost. So
Yeah, I mean, Osprey's a star. I think it was just, people have him versus Fletcher probably didn't move the needle for some people as much as they're so used to seeing Osprey versus, Omega, Osprey versus, insert another big name here.
yeah, but it's just when you put these guys. I mean, listen, it helps just to put him in the main event because it shows people where you think he is. But when you put him against your top guys, it builds the perception that he is a top guy. Like it's the only way it can be done. You don't make a guy. I mean, not the only way. It gets. You can do it naturally, but that takes weeks, months, whatever. Or if you want to hot shot that because the guy's already good enough, then you start putting him in against top guys, and fans will naturally start associating with him. By the way, the weird thing I'm reading, I don't know if it's true or not, was that this was taped Thursday.
Thursday?
What I was reading.
Huh.
There had to be something then, because there's that like, what does that do for you? Yeah, there's no benefit in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe TK had business meetings.
Yeah, or maybe the place they wanted to go, there was an issue or something like I don't know. Thursday's a weird.
Gotta gear up for big business coming up.
It literally could be something like that. Like they're just. I don't know. It doesn't make sense why it would be pre-recorded on a Thursday. But it was. I don't get it, but whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I wonder if they'll do more of these, tapings, like, at Dynamite in order to, since there's that perception of, half-filled arenas.
Yeah, but the problem, I mean, that's such a. So, yeah, I have theories and thoughts on that. That's not a bad idea, but the problem again is if you do this after a Dynamite, I've been there for like ROH tapings and even Rampage when they're putting on a world class Rampage at the time. People leave. That's what I'm saying. People will leave. You will still get your arena could be full, and it'll be half full by the time you get to Collision. And if it's not full to begin with, it's going to look even worse. Putting it out there on Twitter. Maybe someone will be able to tell me. But I do like the tunnels that are back. I like the way they did the. Sorry, I'm just changing subjects, but I move on quickly. But I didn't get a chance to talk about this on Wednesday, so I did have thoughts.
The tunnels, colors.
What'd you say?
About the colors, the vibrant colors of Dynamite now.
I like that. I like my. So I know people were comparing it to. Well, there was two issues. One, people were comparing it to NXT 2.0, which was dumb because my issue with NXT 2.0's color scheme was the design, not the colors. Like the design made it look like Nickelodeon.
I get that.
Back-to-back nights in a single venue, more access to talent for both shows. That's what Joe Pearl's saying.
Yeah, but can you trust Joe Pearl? I don't trust Canadians.
Yeah, I don't trust Canadians either. Those damn dirty liars. So I like the color scheme. I do. I think it doesn't look like first of all, it doesn't look like NXT 2.0. Whatever somebody wants to say, it doesn't. Ooh, Shane Taylor's getting rough with I could see your face and I was thinking you must have seen it ahead of time on me because I'm seeing it and then I looked over. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Shane Taylor is such an interesting wrestler in the sense of like he reminds me they're not even quite built the same, so this isn't going to be perfect, but like Kevin Owens.
Okay.
He doesn't look like he should be able to do and wrestle at the pace and do the things that he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. And he's very realistic and he sounds realistic when he talks. Like he's just a lot there. And I only appreciated him once I saw him live one time for ROH. It's like, okay, I get you much better now.
The Kevin Owens mold, the kind of Samoa Joe type of mold, or just big guys who they don't look like your prototypical like cut, shredded, jacked wrestlers, but they're still fluid in the ring. They're great strikers. They're great on the mic. Right.
So Joel says he doesn't think this is the new norm. It might be because it was post-revolution. So it might be because you had Sunday. So it might have been like just easier on the wrestlers and everyone involved to be like,
just more
and
time.
Then that makes sense. But so I love that Danielson is just going for that leg. You're gonna for Danielson to beat a guy like Shane Taylor, that's the way. You have to target his base. If you're trying,
it's a big base.
Yeah, well, it's a very big base. But if you're trying to put a story behind it, that's the one. He's got to. Oh my God! Look at his chest.
He's got mauled by a bear.
What do you think of the colors? Do you like the color scheme?
I'm getting used to them. The font is more striking to me than the colors. The font feels very like it feels very video game like.
Yeah, you know what? That I will agree with. I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to say I disliked it. I'm not sure I loved it, but
I have to get used to it.
Yeah,
the colors are fine. I get the whole like NXT vibrant colors, but then I also thought of it reminded me kind of Daniel Garcia's entrance when it goes like all techno color, and it's him. Like, it kind of had that color scheme in my head too.
Hey, Puggo.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on getting engaged with your onion ring. Well, Daniel Garcia's entrance is why I don't want Collision to have the same stage as Dynamite because yes, but you're only going to travel with one stage if you're not going home. It's too much to travel with the two. Plus, you're going to show this off a bit. It's brand new. I like the tunnel. I like this better than the original tunnel setup in the sense of because of the screen up top. I always felt the biggest weakness of I know AEW had a screen before when it had the tunnels, but it always felt a little second tier to me.
Sure.
Now it feels like they have a major screen to go with the tunnels. And someone said it online. The thing when you have only like a LED screen entrances, no one ever remembers your entrance anymore. Like your not the individual entrances, but the company's entranceway. People remember hard fixtures, tunnels, when WWE's had like the metal gates around everything. Like stuff like that is what people remember. Plugger, thank you for making sure I get an STD for the wedding.
More like at the wedding.
Yo.
We'll be taking shots of penicillin.
And Taylor's you can't kick his head out from under him, but you can knee it.
These are one of those matches where you know who the winner is going to be, but really it just helps spotlight Shane Taylor more.
100%. That
Yeah, so he wins. Yeah.
Again, this is looks like he belongs, and I really appreciate that. Pluggo with the Brooklyn Nine-Nine humor. Oh, I'm quite familiar with the STD joke.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles, how many people did you give these out to? Are you guys gonna dance to "You Give Me Fever"?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of those shows I watch all the way through at least once a year.
I love that show so much. Ooh, here we go, Big Willie style. Here's what I love about. I saw the hand sign, so I got to do it. Here's what I love about Osprey. His smile, like right now, just looks so genuine and happy. But just a slight tweak in his attitude, and that smile can look so smug and prickish. And I'm like, that is. It's like the Sami Zayn coming out to his music when he used to do the dancing. The dance. What do they call it when the ska dancing? I forget what they would call it.
I don't remember what the actual name is, but I never talked. Yeah.
But then he would do it when he was heel, and it was much less, you know.
You know, people doing the hand signal correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
Will Osprey looking like he just got off the set of Squid Games.
sorry, Osprey's talking, so I'm a little quiet because I'm listening to his.
Osprey's a goat, and Danielson looks like a goat.
Spray. Oh, spray. Spray, spray, spray. Osprey thanking Danielson on behalf of the crowd. But can you hear my thing?
Oh, okay.
I'll keep going back to muting.
Yeah, fun match.
I'll explain why it's so clear when I have this on it after he stops talking.
A pleasant trees so far. True. Hmm.
Ooh.
Danielson Osprey at Diner.
Osprey versus Danielson at Dynasty. Well, that's a good shot, by the way. Whoever's doing the production now is getting better
Mhm.
because the handshake with Dynasty right behind it. That's right out of the WWE playbook. Um, that's gonna be a banger, Jesus. So, little backstory for anyone wondering where Ryan's watching tonight. Normally, I have it on my TV through my cable. Well, my cable box just doesn't want to work tonight. Okay, I can stream. I figure out streaming on Chromecast or whatever. For whatever reason, they don't want to connect tonight. So I just have it on my iPad in front of me.
Yeah.
So that's why the sound is much closer than it should be
Ah.
because I'm right on top of it. And I probably could have figured it out had I really wanted to, but that's a lot of work. Like, it would have taken time. And I was like, by the time I figured it out, I probably would be here. And
I used to
I don't
try
know.
YouTube. I have YouTube TV, so I just watch on the monitors here. And
I don't know. So I don't know if my PlayStation has has the Xfinity app. I really should look that up. I've never had to use it before. Let me look that because I could have. Now that I literally didn't think about it until I was sitting here, could have gone through that.
I like the fact that I can like listen to the audio of the TV in my earphone, in my earbuds, while not having audio come through my microphone. I kind of want to
Yeah,
go
no.
to Dynasty, but it's on a bad week for me.
What'd you say? Say it again. Sorry, there's rain too. So
I kind of want to go to Dynasty, but it kind of falls on a week where I'm busy. It's in St. Louis,
now,
which is far away.
how long does it take you to get to good old St. Louis
If I fly, like 40 minutes.
if you drive?
If I drive, it's 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours.
So it's a fly gimmick.
Yeah, so if it was Saturday, it'd be a lot better than if it was Sunday.
Yeah, I really prefer Saturday pay-per-views.
Because I think that Saturday, the following Saturday, I had to drive up to Denver.
Um, yeah, I have a. I get that then. Yeah, that's kind of almost impossible. I'm really bad when it comes to the Midwest driving, knowing where how far everything is apart from each other.
Yeah. Denver's about 8 hours ish. Chicago probably about 8 hours. St. Louis is like 6.5, 7. Minneapolis is about just under 6.
Big G's listening to us on the phone while they were watching on TV. Appreciate it.
Nice.
It's better on the TV. I won't lie. I but wasn't given a choice. Dynasty. I mean, if that's your first match for Dynasty, we are we are in for it.
I feel like you have to have a pretty banger of a card for your first. It's the first Dynasty pay per view. Yeah, start off hot.
Yeah. Now we have the new elite coming out. I love that they have the Cody Vader. Only the two of them, huh?
Oh, I mean, Okada just his own entrance. Beautiful
I know.
robe.
I just wanted to see. Like, I didn't know if they would have a trios entrance. Now, it would take too long, but it would be extremely hilarious if they put the thing back down so that Okada could come up from it. I mean,
all the pyro. I did like that Revolution that instead of the bucks, like the money that out of the cannon, they shot their business cards out.
oh yeah.
That was a nice touch.
The changes have been just amazing. Now you have the Rainmaker. Oh, he did come up. He did. They didn't drop the screen again, but he did come up from the center, which is still just as good.
You're ahead of me now.
Listen, this is what happens when you're on your iPad. Who knows where things are? Because like it'll stutter for a second, and I can't tell if that stutter means I'm going behind or if it's jumped me forward. This roster, and I understand. Like this isn't. Well, if you're listening to this show, I don't think you get into the tribalism bullshit. Thank God, because I hate that stuff. So this isn't a knock on WWE because they have so many world class wrestlers. Understand that. I appreciate that. But we just got to say this AEW roster right now. Okada, Omega, Danielson, Osprey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like just those four. Of like considered they're at one point each one of them is considered the greatest active pro wrestler at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane. And Big G, believe it or not, Kate made this joke I think last night on Twitter where she said it's really nice of the it's really nice of Roman to let the Bucks to let Roman use their theme. I think that's the way she said it. It was nice to let the Bucks let Roman.
I read something where they all pull from the same inspiration of Succession.
Yes, correct. Which makes sense. I mean, for all groups. And the nice thing is they may use the same theme, but absolutely no. John Cruz. Now a badass is in the ring.
They're going to fight a chance with him. He's very slippery. Almost serpent-like. Well, so who's he tagging with?
That I don't know who they are. This is your typical heel squash thing, which you have to do that for this.
We'll get some mic time probably after this.
Not the Skulk, is it? They were a team that was coming in around dark for a while, but I don't think it's them.
I wish I could have got my hair blonde as Okada's when I was bleaching my hair.
You used to bleach your hair?
I mean, like, the late 90s, yeah.
Oh, boy, that's still... That was not a trend I ever was in on.
But I never forget to the platinum blonde. It got to that orangish, reddish kind of gold color.
I knew it wouldn't look good on me, so I never tried it. Some men are just not built for that.
Well, I wasn't either, but I did it.
I do appreciate that in Japan, it's like you got to look different, so you just dye your hair.
Mm-hmm. The Bucks didn't even wrestle, did they?
No, I'm okay with it.
I'll be intrigued to see who, whoever Kane gets back, who he partners with to take on the new Elite.
So who gets new partners?
Kenny,
Yeah.
maybe, like who will help him out?
You have sorry, I'm liking what I am seeing. So wait, where's okay? I was took me a second to realize where Eddie had went. And Ray's back, if I'm not mistaken. Ray Phoenix, right?
Yeah. I saw he had some dates advertised.
So you get, oh my God,
Yeah, I saw
it's not Ray Phoenix.
It's the bastard.
I am so glad I didn't see spoilers for this. And I usually like spoilers, but this is so out of left field that I am. Wow, there's a height difference between Pac and Okada.
Well, yeah.
But there's also a build difference where Pac is somehow bigger.
Yep.
Pac, sorry. Those kicks. He had like major health issues, right?
I think so. He was kind of one of the people where you were hoping he would be able to come back.
Yeah, like I think his were almost life threatening. I think at some point, the way he said it, at least.
Yeah, it's like an extension of Death Triangle now versus the Elite.
Oh my God. Though I as much as I love Eddie, I think I'd rather the original Death Triangle versus the Elite.
Sure.
That's not a knock on Eddie. It's just that stylistically.
Do they do the 6-man tag at Dynasty, or do they do Okada and Eddie in a one-on-one?
I mean, doesn't seem like it's Okada Eddie though. It seems like it's Pac Okada.
I like Penta's
Oh,
mask. Very Venom-like.
yeah, it is. So for big business, we have Pac, Eddie, and Penta versus the new Elite.
Ah, okay. So we'll get Eddie and Okada, I bet, for Dynasty.
Yeah, they are packing that card.
Which one? Big Business?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You have they just showed it. Darby Allin versus is Jay White.
Right.
You now have this trios match, and that's ignoring obviously the thing that's going to start it all off. But I am psyched.
Well, initially, the Darby Allin Jay White match was supposed to be this past Wednesday.
Wait, what?
Initially, they were going to try to make that Jay White Darby Allin match for this past Wednesday night.
How do you know that?
That's what Tony had talked about during the scrum at Revolution.
Oh, okay.
But then Darby probably wasn't cleared, or was still banged up from throwing his body into glass. Who cares?
Yeah, that's true. But I love that Mariah May is in Tony Storm's old gear, and she pulls it off so well.
And it's great.
I mean, she looks like her.
It's a great single white female type thing.
Yeah.
Movie, perfect story of her just wanting to take over Tony's spot and leave them take over Tony.
So I gotta change your volume on my earphones. Say that one more time.
I said it's the perfect thing about her taking over Tony. Her story, as far as her wanting to become Tony and taking over Tony and taking over her spot.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. She's kind of becoming a little crazy.
I don't blame her. I mean, if Tony Storm just kind of dismiss her.
Yeah.
Hey, it's that one person that you can't pronounce her last name when you just read it. Trisha Dora?
Trisha Dora? I can pronounce her name. I just pronounce it. I just want to say that we Trisha adore her.
We do.
Literally every time I want to make that joke. I don't deny it. I know my puns. She's awesome. She's part of the infantry. What I like is Mariah May seems to have competitive matches, so she's not just like going out and well, the question is, and this is a serious question, is that actually Tony Storm's old gear, or do they just make Mariah May gear?
Good question.
So Big G, Big G's asking, is this better or worse or the same as the Mickey Trish angle?
It's less subtle. I feel like it's a little bit more subtle than Mickey was very like hyper in your face when she wanted to be Trish.
Yes, and Trish was the baby face, Mickey was the heel, where Mariah is more the baby face in this. I'd also say it's not trying to cash in on the forced lesbian angle where they're not doing it for any other reason than to appeal to a certain male specific audience. This is more just an obsessed fan, which is a very nice little thing. But really, the payoffs where you can make that call, if they is it whatever issues that angle may have had or not had, at least they nailed the end result of it. Like it gets remembered, it didn't peter out. So it'll depend on if this does too. I'm seeing the previews for the new Kong versus Kong and Godzilla movie.
Those movies, they don't do anything for me. I don't know.
I love them. I love them so much because they're so stupid. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't sit here and go like these are great movies that I understand that they are shut your mind off movies. What was it? Like Pacific Rim had that, where like it knew what it was, which is just a shut your mind off movie. And
Joe Wardlow at Big Business too.
It's a good card.
It's nice to get that match now ahead before they get before we get the hopefully Swerve rematch.
So Steven Jensen from the Spotlight, other Fightful stuff, he does Weekender on Select and all that, posted he went to the same high school as Cody Rhodes, and I guess he was a wrestling fan or he did recording of wrestling. He posted Cody winning a high school wrestling tournament from his junior year. He had found one of the tapes, and Cody finally retweets, "It's surprised I won this. My shots were way outside."
That's why Steven's such a Cody mark.
Oh yeah. He's told the story. Like they went to high school together, so there's an actual thing there where like you have, even if you weren't the best of friends or anything like that, if someone, unless I hated the person, I'm cheering for someone I went to high school to just be the best in the world. I think people forget that Cody like they obviously know he comes from a legitimate. I'm not legit. He comes from a pro wrestling pedigree with Dusty Rhodes, but I think people forget like he was a legitimately good wrestler. You know, winning high school tournaments is not easy. Wrestling's a little different than a lot of sports where you can kind of judge the quality of a wrestler. I mean, obviously, if they go to college and perform well there, but if they do well in high school, they're a very good wrestler because by that point you're at that level.
So
Now imagine if he was able to.
who's gonna win a Tony Award?
Well, it should be it should be retroactive, and it should go to MJF and Jericho for "They Dinner Debonair" because it's the only musical that we've had. But um, I don't know because I don't know what the purpose of it. Like, well, I have to see it play out.
Like, does Mariah May win it, or does she give it to herself?
That's what I mean. Or does she insultingly give it to someone? Like, does she uh, insultingly give it to Deanna?
Nice little suplex off the knees.
Yeah. Piggy saying the last movie was Godzilla King of Monsters. So yes, and then go watch Godzilla versus Kong because it's King of Monsters just even more ridiculous.
I think the last Godzilla movie I watched, it was the like Matthew Broderick one.
Oh god, well that doesn't even count. So we have a 1, 2, 3 Mariah May with a pin on Trish Adore Her. Very solid match. I think Trish got in a lot of offense and looked real good. I mean, Trish is a world class wrestler, so it's not like you're putting her in the ring with. And Mariah's
The Danielson and Shane Taylor, like that kind of formula.
okay. So here comes Tony Storm. But Mariah May's turnaround when she heard Tony's music was perfectly acted out. She turned around with such excitement.
The character work by Mariah May is so solid. Like her in ring is really great. Tony looking like a flapper.
Use a little dance. Tony with an eye so we don't get sued. A nominee. So Mariah May won it for playing Tony Storm. Oh my god, it's a shoe. There goes Deanna to attack her. I am so glad this isn't over.
Oh, she did not watch for the shoe.
You said that as Big G said it. Tony definitely did not watch for that shoe. Oh, it was the Skulk. God, I'm good at identifying them.
Wow.
So the tag team that went against them and that was the Skulk. I just saw them pop up on so for people who are wondering how much attention I paid to Dark and Elevation, enough that I can identify that tag team. They were really good though. Like they were fun on it. Dark and Elevation. They had some stuff there. So no wonder they get called back for this stuff. Ooh, Willow Nightingale versus Riho on Big Business. Her name is Rio, and she.
I want to see Stokely offer her the chain and see what Willow does.
Me too. That I'm looking. I don't like. I mean, I don't want Stat to go heel, but I do because she's gonna be very good at it.
Mm-hmm. I think
Where
she'd
was
be
she?
really good to heel, but I still think it'd be more shocking if Willow turned.
It would, but I don't think. Listen, Willow's good enough; she could pull off heel, but I think the story lends better to a pissed off Stat portraying heel Willow, because Willow could garner that baby face,
Mm.
that baby face love. Though Scott points out, what if Stokely wanted Willow all along?
Yeah.
Stat wrestled at Beyond Wrestling.
What's that?
Apparently, Stat wrestled at Beyond Wrestling this weekend.
Oh.
So far, we have the Elite versus Eddie, Penta, and Pac.
Mm-hmm.
Darby versus Jay White, Willow versus Riho, and Joe versus Wardlow for the championship, all on Big Business.
Mm.
All right. The question has to be asked. Is there any chance Adam Cole's healthy?
Adam Cole?
Bye.
I don't think so. I mean, he showed up, like Revolution, right? When they still in the
I know he's still in the brace. That's not what I'm asking.
Oh.
My question is he healthy?
I don't know. I mean, look how long it took Roddy to be healthy for my neck.
Don't you go there. Because does Cole interfere in the Wardlow match?
Maybe. Or I don't know. We'll see what, or maybe, I don't know what Kyle O'Reilly's going to do. Now that he's back and kind of supposedly on his own path.
Yeah, I don't. Just curious. Just curious. The one thing I missed, by the way, apparently by not having commentary on, because I don't have commentary on, is that in the match with Mariah May, apparently when Mariah stood in front of a sign that says, "Mariah, I want to be your ex-husband," and I screamed, "That's my son."
What's that?
Mariah stood in front of a fan sign that says, "Mariah, I want to be your ex-husband," and Nigel screamed out, "That's my sign." So Big G, I got to assume. So Big G's asking why in the Julia Hart rules match, why don't challengers make stipulation that Julia has to wrestle with her hands tied behind her back or something? I got to assume like they put in limitations of like you can't choose any physical restrictions. Because I'm with you. Otherwise, I'd be like, you have to lay on your back for 10 seconds straight, and I'm just in the center of the ring, and you just.
There are some things in wrestling that you just kind of have to look past. Oh yeah, I think there's Nick Wayne.
The Nick Wayne train. I do appreciate that this shirt just says "mother."
I think it said Wayne at the bottom, like a small print. It says Wayne.
I know, but I think it does too. But "mother" is just so funny. It does say Wayne, just very small. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Kind of disappointed that Killswitch doesn't have some kind of shirt on that says something.
Yeah, like Engage or something. His shirt should say Christian's finisher. Oh, Adam Priest. Kind of looks like Crash Holly.
Yeah. Even a Crash Holly or a Jamie Noble or a
Yeah. My point of reference will always be Crash Holly because he cracked me up. Do you think that tape actually works?
I think. I mean, enough people do it in sports,
Yeah, but athletes do a lot of weird things.
but it, it's coming through like medical trainers. So I'd imagine I would trust medical trainers know what they're doing.
I mean, I just remember for a while they were all wearing like those bracelets that were supposed to do stuff, and
Or like copper bracelets and all that stuff.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like I think cupping has very little evidence to prove that it's super effective, and you see them all the time with like those
Mhm.
cupping marks. So I'm just curious. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. Just really raining at my house. It's Nick Wayne.
Wow. That's a stretch.
So Deanna tweeted out, if it's a numbers game you want to play, let's play, and a phone emoji. Who would Deanna be calling? Not
Hmm.
Ghostbusters. Um,
Speaking of women's
I mean, Camille.
Who?
Camille. She's rumored to be coming to AEW.
Mhm.
You wouldn't. Mercedes isn't it? So
Right.
I don't know. Someone will have to tell me who they think.
I don't know.
Chad, if you have a thought.
Thunder's not doing much.
She's joining LFI. There's Britt. Is
That'd be
Britt
fun.
ready to come back? They were friends.
That would be fun.
That'd be a neat one. I love that Nick Wayne just wears Shawn Michaels tights.
Mhm.
He's got them. The ass boys have them. I also appreciate that Nick Wayne's trying to grow a beard. And I say trying. He's not doing a great job of it, but he's trying.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
more,
Let's.
I can't do it.
I mean, me neither. Can't grow a beard at all. Listen, there's not anything I could do better than these athletes. If it's grow a beard, I'm gonna say it. I can grow a beard. But I also like that he's trying because Killswitch has a beard, Christian has a beard. Gotta have that beard. You knew it. As soon as I saw the mask and the sign, I'm like, that's Edge. Or Adam Copeland, sorry.
I mean, he had been the conquistador before.
Yeah. What if it wasn't him? Some fan just realized that that's the spot they were going to try and did it first. So the other day, I have to call something out. I've had 2 songs stuck in my head this week. So anyone watching, the reason I'm not coming is, wait, I will come back to my songs in a second because now he's actually confused me. What is he going for? Edge has, Copeland has like a suitcase.
What?
I'm actually confused.
Is it like an axe? What is it?
I don't know. He didn't get it all the way open. What is in the suitcase? Hey, it's me when I have my Sting paint on.
What's in the box?
Gosh, you can't tease me like this.
Hmm.
All right. So they're gonna have their match in Toronto on March 20th. And an I Quit match. What is it?
Hmm.
Bike. Someone's gonna have to tell me. I don't get this trio at all. The thing they did smart was have the sign, Copeland hide behind the sign, so you didn't see that there was a gold mask until
Hmm.
Rick Briscoe's hilarious. So anyway, I've had two songs stuck in my heart. I've had it's not heart song. Well, in my heart and my head. Um, one has been the Taya and Johnny Loves Taya's theme song, especially the end. She took him to the mat and he gave her the ring. But anyway, and then I was in the Weeds chat this week, Joel and Jeremy, and they started talking Gunther, and someone said, "Anytime I hear the name Gunther, I think of the singer." And I've had that stuck in my ooh, you touch my tra la la. Ooh, my ding ding dong. All week. Just it's one of the two of them has been in my brain constantly on repeat. Repeat.
I never want it stuck in your head ever. Your mind works in ways that I don't want to understand.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And Big G, there had been the last I Quit match I remember is the Mox and Kingston one. I don't know if there've been any other I Quit matches.
That I can't remember. There has been. So there was that. I feel like there's one more and I can't remember what it is. Titan. Titan. From the graveyards of Tijuana. He is the best. I don't care why I says that is the coolest place to be from ever.
What, the graveyards of Tijuana?
Yeah.
I thought Parts Unknown was the best place to be from.
No. This trumps it. The funny thing is, I know some people made fun of Parts Unknown. I always thought that was genius.
Yeah.
Like it's a mystery. Like the guy just won't tell you where he's from. Like
Like they always talk about like the Undertaker being from Death Valley. I'm like, he's from the Southwest.
that's what I'm saying. Like Death Valley is like
It's an
you
actual
chose
place.
yeah, and not like a particularly scary place. I know it's called Death Valley, but it's not like Undertaker would have been a great Parts Unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Or From the Grave or whatever. Like
From Beyond the Grave or something, or from
yeah. Ooh, you touch my tra la la. Ooh, my ding ding dong. That was a song of a different era. In fairness to me,
Mhm.
someone else brought up Gunther the Singer, not me, and that's what put it in my head. Hello, Lieutenant Colonel Photo. What we don't know is that Titan is secretly Dean Malenko.
Ooh. So many holds.
At least 3.
But Jericho has more.
He's got 4. Ooh, you touch my ta-la-la. Ooh, ding, 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 dong. Have you watched Johnny Loves Taya at all?
A couple of the episodes.
I enjoy it because it is such a mockumentary of what those shows are.
I'm a little behind. I think I watched the first 2 or 3.
As
And they're
someone who doesn't like reality, I enjoy it.
yeah, it's a parody and it's just quick. It's quick.
So, First Lieutenant Colonel Photo, how do you know that? Thing is a giant bat with an insane railroad spikes. I want to know how First Lieutenant Colonel Photo knows that. Friend was there. So the audience saw it? Oh, okay. Well, then that's spoiled. Sorry, anyone listening. I didn't realize that was I thought it was a callback.
Well,
Then again, if you
I figured some of the people in that front row could see it. He had it opened up wide enough where Christian could see it.
oops. Oh well. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to open that up to the audience, you've.
Right.
I knew it was a weapon. I figured it was a weapon of some point.
It would have been
So
better
it's
off
not really.
like holding the case and then showing him the name on the case is Spike, and then Christian would have like, oh shit, it's Spike. Like I know what that is without even
It
seeing.
also, does that have significance? Is there a reason that needs to be hidden?
Yeah, I don't know. Spike Dudley. They have Spike Dudley in a case.
Oh, that'd be fucking. You just he comes out swinging them.
But yeah, I'm gonna say I'd quit if you have a baseball bat with a spike in it.
Yeah. Of course, you're also going to go to jail, but
That doesn't matter in wrestling.
I think if you kill a guy, it does.
I don't know.
We'll find out. What are we doing here, Jericho? You're too old for this.
Not when
Oh, okay.
he's a Lionheart.
Plus, that wasn't really an athletic move on his part. He did like threw the guy down on his face from the top rope. It wasn't exactly.
Yeah. Hey, at least he can still do the lion salt.
Yeah. Oh God. You trust my Charlie.
Or you're still
God damn it. I'll be honest, it's one of the two for the last week. It's driving me nuts.
Uh-oh. Lionheart trying to take the mask off.
He's kind of been wrestling a little heelish. Here's the thing about Jericho. He just needs time off.
I don't know what he's doing now. Like why? Like he's just having these random matches with MLL guys.
If this was his retirement tour, and I don't mean that insultingly, I'm saying like if it was his retirement tour, fine. Give the guy what he wants. But it just feels like they don't really have a good story for him at the moment. So let the man. let the man, go take a break, go sleep, go play with Fozzie,
Yeah.
come back to save someone at some point, be the heel returning superstar. Jericho would sing Gunther with me. Ooh, that's my dread. No. An Atlanta street fight.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I could tell you, but it's not good.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fight in Atlanta.
No.
They have a lovely aquarium, though.
Never been. This is the match graphic for. Oh, hold on, I gotta take off our thing. It's the match graphic for Dynasty. I'm liking that. It's fancy.
Mm-hmm. Very regal. Very King of the Ring vibes.
Yes, very King of the Ring vibes. And those two will be deciding who's King of the Ring.
Who are the best wrestlers to you, regardless of promotion? Just
What are we judging by?
complete package. Let's say in ring plus promo skills.
So I don't. This is in no particular. Well, I guess Danielson probably would go number one because he has both. What'd you say?
Because of his the length and the body of his work and the diversity.
Yeah. Well, I'm even just doing currently. He can still go at that level,
Mm-hmm.
and he's better on promo than the other guys who are considered the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Like Ospreay's good on promo, but he's not Danielson level yet. And
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins is up there. Sami Zayn is up there. Kenny Omega, when he's healthy, clearly he's up there. I think there's a tier of guy who's like so good, but I don't know how to say it, how I'm going to explain this. Why don't I stop screen? There's a tier of guy who, like Big G is saying Cody. Cody's in this tier of guy that I'm about to describe, who I think you could, if you told me you thought they were the best in the world, I'd absolutely agree. I think most people would argue simply because they're not as technically proficient in the ring as the guys I named.
Mm-hmm.
But Cody, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Swerve, like guys like that who are such a total package. But I think people would say, well, Danielson's better, or that's like maybe technically, but those guys can give you 5-star matches too, and are so good at their characters that it's a tough call because a lot of it's preference. Like I'm actually going outside my preference. Big G, I'm a huge Cody fan. So I'm not going to argue with you that he's one of the best. I'm just saying I think others might say he's not for technical proficient reasons. Like he's right below it, but he's not quite the level of an Ospreay or Danielson or I think Seth Rollins is a little better in the ring. I think Sami Zayn what Sami Zayn wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sami Zayn might be the most underrated talker in all of wrestling. He sounds so natural when he talks on the mic. It's unbelievable. And I like that. I like guys who sound like they're just having a conversation. But that's actually that's what the guys I named actually goes away from my own preference because they're not the guys I tend to gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to gravitate towards guys who don't have to be quite as good in the ring, but have a person more like a talking style I like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Swerve. I actually love Orange Cassidy is one of my favorites. So like these are, but I don't. But if I'm going to be objective to what people say, Punk is a hard one. Big G saying Punk. because Punk in his day, probably the injury prone. We don't know what speed he goes now, but he can still talk, and he's had amazing matches, so it's hard to say no. What about you, Joe? Who are you putting there?
Ooh. Cody's in a weird territory of I don't. He's obviously not as technically proficient as some of the guys we talked about, but he's the guy that if I was, promoting professional wrestling and wanted to introduce someone to professional wrestling, he's kind of like the staple. Like he's good enough in the ring. He knows how to sell the business. He knows how to promote the business. If you can put him in front of the camera, in front of media, he's your superstar of the face of a company. Danielson probably the best right now. I think if Ospreay once he polishes up his mic stuff, he can kind of take over that spot that Kenny had. But even some of Kenny's promos, I don't like as much as Seth Rollins promos.
No,
but I think Kenny's a better in-ring wrestler. I don't know where I put ZSJ. Like some of his promos and stuff is fun, but but I think Danielson's probably a safe pick for overall for just again like length of career, being able to do it at a high level before and after injury, having wrestled in multiple promotions at a high level.
Yeah, I mean, I can't name Okada for that reason because I don't know. Like, I've seen Okada wrestle. Clearly, he's magnificent. I don't have his entire body of work to pull from, so it's much harder for me to be like, this is the guy that I support. I think Cody, it's weird. Cody builds amazing stories in his matches. Like, if you watch a Cody match, and for anyone watching, we weren't really talking about the match because didn't really matter, except now the Gates of Agony are attacking victorious Chris Jericho, who won with the Walls of Jericho.
Did Garcia come out and help him?
No, it's going to be Hook.
Oh, Hook.
Returning the favor.
I forgot he lashed onto Hook now.
Yeah. He's got his hooks in him. But Cody has some of the best storytelling in matches, in my opinion. Like, you watch a Cody match, there's a flow there that gets you heavily invested. It's just if you're talking from a technical sense, he's top tier and he's definitely one of the top, but he's not like the top 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, though, if you ask me if I'm starting a wrestling promotion, he's probably my first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so. Again, the beauty now is I can name a bunch of guys, and we're no one's walking away weaker. If you told me I'm starting with Hangman and Swerve, Hangman, either one of the two of them, okay. Oh no, I've got one of the best wrestlers in the world, and guys with personality. Oh no, if you told me I'm starting with Kevin Owens, oh no, if you told me I'm starting with there's a bunch. Gunther, if you tell me I'm starting with like any of these guys, like, oh no.
We didn't even touch on any people in TNA really.
Yeah. I think TNA is amazing. I think they have a lot of really good wrestlers. Josh Alexander would probably be the only one though who enters into the conversation.
Yeah, he's the first one that came in my mind.
But he kind of falls into the Zack Sabre Jr. category, which is like there is personality there, but they haven't had to do as much as some of these other guys. So I don't know if they have the level of personality that like a Cody has. Like Cody is so personality driven. I mean, we are in a blessed era of wrestling where there's just a lot of really good wrestlers.
Yeah, because I used to love watching his Timothy Thatcher matches.
Oh yeah.
And he's just not a big promo talker guy, but like in ring, I loved watching his stuff.
Yeah, like on the first, so I'm on the AEW men's roster page, right? The first line, not counting champions, the first line is you have both Adam Cole and Adam Page on it. And that's not counting Adam Copeland because of age. I'm taking him out. So you have Adam Cole and Adam Copeland, both amazing guys you could start a promotion around. And, the next line has okay guys, but no one I would say. Like Anthony Bowen's there, but he's been stuck in trios hell.
Right.
Couple lines down, you got to go a couple lines down, but then you have Bryan Danielson. And I'm not counting tag wrestlers because that's where Buddy Matthews, Cash Wheeler, like those guys are falling into me. Then you have Claudio, Danhausen, of course.
Of course.
Eddie Kingston's not technical enough to be the best in the world. He's just a lot of fun.
I just think everyone should be lucky that Marco Stunt is not wrestling right now.
Oh yeah, they'd all be behind the 8 ball.
Right.
You have Switchblade. John Moxley, again, not technical, but you'd be hard pressed to argue that there's not someone as good of as who can produce at Moxley's level. Okada. Yeah, Shibata, but he's kind of aging out.
I always think of bread. I think of Shibata bread. So yeah.
Yeah. If you have Kenny Omega. That's just too young, but he might get there someday. Same with Fletcher. They might get there someday. They're building themselves to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Miro doesn't show up anymore, so I don't know what's going on there. He's been hurt. Never mind, I say that. And then, again, I love Orange Cassidy, but people wouldn't put him as the best, but he's awesome. Pack. I mean, I'm looking at like two guys like here who wouldn't be considered the best, but you have Ricky Starks and Roderick Strong. Like, dear God, this is the level of wrestling. Like, they're average, like, not say average, but like, they're not even in the conversation for best wrestlers. And that's where we are at on these tiers anymore. Like,
mm-hmm. Are you surprised of how over FTR gets for being a team that's very throwback?
no, I'm not. I don't know why. They just actually, let me rephrase that because that's not a proper answer. It's not to say I'm not surprised. I am, but like within 2 seconds, you're like, somehow they just connect. Like you just like they're out there and it's like boom, there's connection. So I'm not surprised because you can see the connection happen instantly. But on paper, you're right. That connection should never be made. I had to think that through because I got stuck on the guys themselves, and I'm like, they're so lovable. But you're right. If you handed me a piece of paper saying this is who they are, it shouldn't work.
When we're going to start the tag tournament?
We do need a big tag. I can't wait for it because it's gonna be fun. Well, they're in it.
I would hope
If
so.
you didn't know, now you know. What are you not? The infantry, baby. I love the infantry getting some shine here.
I don't remember them being on Collision anytime recently.
Me neither. Magic City is a strip club. Oh, that's amazing. A Magic City chant.
And all sorts of promotion.
Yeah, he said a little bit of a revival, and then they said, "Say yeah."
They did the thing.
I'm so hyped for this. I'm legitimately a fan of the infantry, so this is. They started on Dark and Elevation, and they've been working, in ROH, and they've been doing good in ROH.
I thought Dash were going to be like, fuck the revival. They're dead.
He did say they are dead.
I know, but I wanted him to say, no, the FTR line.
Yeah. Say yeah. So apparently there's for all those who will be on the tweet ski later, there's a little backstage vignette with the new elite. I'm going to keep calling them the new elite, and they tell Okada that the Young Bucks tell Okada that they always knew he was better than Omega in all their matches.
Go.
So it's Mystico. I forget who he's going against. How can he hear in that?
I don't know. I don't know how you breathe in those things.
Versus Angelico. With dances like this. Serpentico.
What?
Surprised he's around. I know he's afraid of John Cruz.
Oh yeah, who isn't?
Yeah, Scott, looks like it's just one woman's match tonight on Collision, not two.
The streak is broken.
I'm just glad there's finally a streak.
And Angelico is what the kids would call a vibe.
Yes.
You look at him like, yep, I get it. But you just kind of Does he wrestle a lot more in ROH?
He does, yeah. Angelico and Serpentico have been a team in ROH.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love watching matches, like maybe wrestling like Dark a lot and everything else.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I was a big Chaos Theory fan.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Project fan. But I obviously Luther's days, I think, of being an active wrestler are past. He's doing very good, doing very well, I should say, as a butler. So it's nice to see Angelico. Is it Angelico or Angelico?
I thought it was Angelico, but
They're saying we're saying it wrong, but I'm going to say Angelico. Angelico, the J shouldn't sound like that. I don't believe it.
yeah, it's like Jello. I don't know. Do we say Jello, I guess, with a J?
Eh.
Instead of
Jello, Angelico. Fine, I'm just going to start calling him Angelico.
Ooh, Angelico.
You're going to be a pain about this one, LT. He's just now officially Angelico.
The Company of Angels.
Big fan of Angelico and Serpentico. The Knight.
What?
Well, he's wrong about his own name. He's Angelico now. With his Knight, Serpentico. And we're in picture-in-picture. For Dell Computers.
Makes sense. More like Angelico.
Ooh, I'm teaching you well, Joe. I mean, technically, I have a Dell.
You have a Dell?
Hello. But yeah, no. Apparently, my PC is technically a Dell. Things I didn't know until I forgot that that's who made Alienware.
Oh, you and your gamer desktop.
Yep. I admit it. I needed a new computer. I needed one that could do a couple things, and I wanted to game. And I said, why not? And then some people were trying to convince me to build my own. I said, I am not botching that. So I just bought one. And at the time I bought, now it's dated because it's a 4-year-old computer. But at the time I bought it, it was when the 3080s and all these high the new graphic cards came out you couldn't get, but I could get one in the computer. They've the only way I had them. See, Lieutenant Colonel Photo, who says Angel Co's name wrong, is telling me to always build, but he's wrong because that sounds great until you fuck it up and you bend one of the pins on your graphics card or something, and then suddenly you've just wasted almost $1,000.
Hmm. I don't know. I always enjoyed the building process.
I'm very bad at it. It's a fine motor skill that I just don't possess.
Buddies of mine back in high school, we would do that, like build our towers.
I wish I could. I really do. But I looked it up. I looked up tutorials and how people do it, and I'm like, there's a couple steps. You know, I think it's the graphics card or is it the PC unit? I don't know. Where they have all the pins,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to just sit it in nicely. I know I'd mess that up. Like 100 times out of 100, I'm going to mess that up, and it's the most important, most expensive piece. I'm like, there's just no way.
Between building tower, like your desktop computer back then, or either that or you're busy trying to like wire subs and speaker systems into your car.
Yeah, I couldn't do any of that, so I didn't. I never tried, and I never will. I'll just always buy. I know my strengths and my weaknesses, and that stuff is a weakness of mine, so I will buy it. If I had someone around, like I would do it. If I had someone to oversee me doing it,
Mm-hmm.
I would do it. Lieutenant Colonel Photo, I understand that I pay more by having a pre-built computer. I am paying for that convenience.
Ryan is a job creator. He helps support the economy.
Exactly. But it's the same as if I just got all the pieces and then said, "Can someone assemble it for me?" I am paying for that
Sure, I get it.
because I can't do it. And then at the same point, like I said, I got a higher graphics card that wasn't available to the public. So I can't believe my computer is 4 years old. I forgot it was that old.
Like 20 years in tech world.
Yeah. Though I feel like I'm not that far behind, which is amazing. I should be, but I don't feel like I am based on everything I read. Listen, I bought a nice one. I'm not trying to, because I knew this was going to be a computer that was not going to be replaced every 2 years. I bought a nice one, so I have some of the stuff. And I feel like even though there's new graphics cards, they didn't take the same leap that they took when I bought this. Like when I bought this, it went from like the 2080 Ti's to like the 3080s, 3090s, and all that. And now I don't think they've made that same leap yet. I could be wrong. And if they have, games haven't caught up on how to use them. I love technology. I'm just not good enough to put it together.
Your true passion is face paint.
Clearly. I was able to actually play Cyberpunk when it came out because I had the graphics to handle it. Though I will admit, I did have, like, I bought a nice computer. Don't get me wrong. I did have to stop myself from going overboard. Like, I was at the point where I was like, oh no, I don't need all of this. And the hard part was waiting for it to be built. It takes weeks. Like, I'm used to just going and picking things up.
Well, yeah,
This
the waiting is always the hardest part. That's what I learned in the song.
waiting is the hardest part. Don't know the rest of the words to the song. But I didn't have a PC at that point. Like I had a laptop. I knew I wanted a PC, so I was like, I didn't have something to like. At some point, I'm gonna have to make a decision. I'm not there yet. Knock on big wood. But at some point, when it comes time to get a new PC, I'm going to do it before I actually need it, so that while I'm waiting, I have one that I can.
Right.
Part of the problem is I don't know what I'll do with. I might if I get another one, that might be the time where I buy separate parts and pay someone to use like my basic chassis because I don't know what to do with half the stuff. Like, what would I do with this once it was done? Waiting. So I am someone who actually really enjoys these CMLL AEW matches. I do. I like
Mm.
that there's just random guys showing up. I will also say they are the easiest to not talk about. There's
I,
just nothing.
I'm interested to see what this leads to because they really it felt like the CMLL stuff has really overtaken all the stuff where we used to have a lot of New Japan guys in, but now it's all CMLL things. So I'm like, I wonder if it leads to more like talent going down there to Arena Mexico for their show, or if we do incorporate them into Forbidden Door this year.
It does feel like it does feel like they're going to be part of Forbidden Door, and it does also feel like they're prepping for a AEW invasion of CMLL storyline.
It just feels like there's talent from that promotion on Nine Collision every week now.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this has been true a bunch of times that AEW likes to stack the appearances when they introduce a new partner. They like to have a ton of them so you get used to it. Oh, Serpentico's mad, but if you're a true knight, you won't attack him. A man of honor does not do that.
Oh, Serpentico.
Oh no, they were respectful. I appreciate it.
Boo.
I would think Boo earns.
Boo earns.
So Sidney Crosby did not get traded.
Hockey.
Hockey. People thought he'd get traded. Or maybe they were just really hoping he would.
The Blackhawks and Blues are playing Wrigley next year. Talking about your
Are
state.
they?
Yeah.
They just buried that though. You have what, 3 or 4 of them a year now?
Yeah,
Minimum?
it should have been a once a year thing.
Yeah. One a year, try to get as many different teams in as you could.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't go to the Flyers playing at up in MetLife. And they had 2 games there. The Flyers played and then the Flyers played the Devils and then the Rangers played the Islanders. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, speaking of hockey, I had a conversation the other day about hockey stuff. Well, hockey adjacent. A friend of mine said that they liked Mighty Ducks 2, D2 over the original one. Thoughts?
No, but
Okay.
so here is my friends and I would quote D2 far more than we'd quote the original. And D2 is a sillier, goofier, so and sometimes more fun watch. But if you're actually talking better movies, it's the original.
Because of the story.
But not even that. Just like if you go back and actually watch it, the jokes are a little like even as a kid, like if you watched it, the jokes are a little funnier. The whole thing's just a little funnier. Um, it was a little more raw because like these were poor kids in a poor neighborhood. Like they had like weird jokes and like D2, they're Olympic athletes, and you're like, what's going on? Like, it's just the whole thing is just. And then, of course, D3, they're struggling to beat the varsity team. Meanwhile, they just played the Junior Olympics, Junior Goodwill Games. Sorry, like they wouldn't have struggled.
Right.
They would have beat everyone. I don't. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I will watch D2 all day.
That's true. I mean, that was a whole resurgence in roller hockey and knuckle pucks.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, like, Mighty Ducks is ridiculous, like utterly ridiculous. It has some ridiculous moments. D2 took Mighty Ducks' ridiculous moments and just amplified them by a million. Because you're talking like, all right, the knuckle puck's insane. Like Fulton's shot was insane. The knuckle puck is even worse.
Mhm.
Then the end of the movie, they call a timeout and somehow have enough time to put Keenan in a goalie's uniform. It's just like, and then like, I don't know. But again, I this is me arguing over two movies that I love both.
After the first movie, did you go back outside and practice your triple deke?
100%.
2, 3.
We played roller and street hockey all around us anyway, so it was fun to. Because across from me, we had tennis courts, but they were basically vacant. Like
Mhm.
there was two of them, and one of them still had a net up, but the other didn't. So you had an open tennis court. So we'd play street hockey, either roll, either with skates or without skates there constantly. So Mighty Ducks just made it better. Triple deke. So it's just such a hard move to block when all it is just moving your stick 3 times.
I feel like the House of Black is going to win this one.
I would say so. He rodeos the guy up with a
Oh, yeah.
lasso.
You had the figure skating. You had like all the other, yeah.
What I do find funny is there is a moment in that movie that the writers of D2 straight up stole from the Miracle on Ice team. And I didn't realize it until I saw the movie Miracle, which came out later, but still, which is he has the team just skating back and forth until they get sick, which is straight out of me. It's what Coach Brooks did to the American hockey team. It just cracked me up. And of course, for D3, they could only get Emilio Estevez for a cameo.
Well, he was too busy, living his dream.
He was a lawyer.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer. Then he got a shot to play minor league hockey.
Right.
Got hurt, and then was a lawyer again. Here's the thing that I'm gonna say, and I don't care. The thing that doesn't make sense about the Mighty Ducks franchise, the timeline. Emilio Estevez's playing career does not make sense. If you watch Mighty Ducks 1, you would think he never played after he missed that shot. Right?
Right.
When he was on the Hawks. But that doesn't make sense because then if you watch 2, if he's starting out if they gave him minor league, it means he had to have played much longer.
Mhm.
And then by D3, he had played high school hockey. Like the timeline doesn't did he stop playing after that, or did he continue and we're just ignoring all those years of hockey after that? Or did he? What would have been fine is that he transferred off the Hawks and I was like, yeah, I didn't play again until I was out of the Hawks. Like at least that would have been a thing. He is. Hold on, this is gonna bug me. So we're doing some math here. He was born in 62. Mighty Ducks came out in 92, so he was 30. Let's assume they took some years off just to be kind, and he's 25. A 25-year-old minor league rookie.
Mhm.
What are we doing here, guys? Even I knew. Even as a kid, I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, he's awful old to be getting a shot in minor league hockey.
Yeah. And especially because in the first one, they established he had only ever played Pee Wee hockey. So why would his friends from the Minnesota team, Minnesota North Stars, give him a shot? Like, what did he prove? Now, it'd still be too old. But if you told me he was a high school prodigy and should have been drafted, I could at least live by that. But that just destroys the first story altogether. Three Bash Brothers entertaining the crowd. I do appreciate that for local Pee Wee hockey. They had a commentator, a broadcast.
Yes.
So this is, again, I don't understand these trios. Like I understand one of the teams very well. House of Black is a well-established team. I don't get why we went back to. Oh, was he supposed to miss the table?
Oh God. Yeah.
Yes, he was, but oh my God.
God. Could they put the chairs on the table?
Oh my God.
I don't know why
But
you.
yeah,
Ugh.
I'm like, I get obviously House of Black is House of Black. They're long established
Mhm.
uh
They usually figure
trio.
out what you're doing with the Garrett stable because they play. You know, at one time they wanted Mark to become part of it, and then next time, at one time they had dissension between Jarrett and Jay Lethal, of like Jay Lethal was looking like you're going to go away from it. I'm like, just do something here. It's not that interesting of a faction to draw out this long.
Yeah, I'm completely agreement. That's what I mean. Like, what is the story here? I thought Mark was 100% done with them.
Yeah.
I thought Jay Lethal was on the way out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially after like when he was in the C2, it made it seem like he was trying to forge his own path.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like. So I don't understand it at all. And now we're in a street fight. I don't think this has been properly built too, but that's just me.
Nope. This is one of those weird gimmicks of hey, let's call like I think Jarrett was in the Memphis street fight where it's like throwing hot dogs at each other. But they're all wearing camo pants for some reason.
Well, that's what you wear in a street fight.
I
You
thought
got to
you wore
blend in with the ring.
I thought you wore jeans.
That's what I thought, but now it's camo.
And they're
Real quick. So you know how AEW will put like DraftKings in the corner of its ring?
Mhm.
Don't love it, but I get it. Like that's a way to promote, make some extra money. I fucking despise if WWE is going to be putting a giant Prime logo in the center of the ring from here on out. I'm gonna despise it. Like that's the ugliest thing in the world.
yeah.
Looks shitty. Looks cheesy. It looks cheap.
They could easily just run it on the digital like the LED boards around the ringside area. Like they could do it there, but like not in
You
the
could do it on the four corners, just like DraftKings has done.
not in the middle.
No, the middle's the one place I don't think anything. But if you want to put your company's name, like AEW sometimes does, or WWE had sometimes does, if you want to do that, fine. I don't even love that, but if that's the most you should do.
Or maybe maybe even be like, hey, if you want to have some kind of like light graphic that like shines a light and it projects on the mat initially.
Yeah.
It goes
Like
away.
when you're doing intros, fine. If you want to have it be there for intros,
Yeah.
and you want to do a shot of like them standing over each other, like if you want to do like an overhead shot of like the two wrestlers lining up.
Yeah.
But oh shit, we're getting out fire. Malachi Black's about to light the table on fire. And Sanjay just tried to hit Brody King with a guitar that didn't break. Run, Sanjay, run. Buddy's after you, run. Get up and run.
That's not what you do in a horror movie. You just sit there and crawl.
Oh no, it's Julia. Where's Sky Blue? Like, this is wrong. Keep Sky Blue with them.
Guy's not part of House of Black.
She's just Julia's pet project.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Oh no, they covered him in gasoline.
Uh-oh. I hope that suit's not polyester.
I mean, this is just would be straight up murder. Just teasing him. It's mean. Also, let's be fair. Scott Aaron Jarrett in wrestling gear for some reason. Sky Blue would be the perfect one to light someone on fire because she's done that in real life.
Exactly. Don't take her gimmick. Sanjay just offense.
Sanjay just got a knee to the nut. Why is Karen Jarrett in full wrestling gear?
She has to take a bump here, I think.
She just got misted.
Oh man, that looks like the little dinosaur from Jurassic Park spitting that stuff out. Imagine if Jeff Jarrett went through a flaming table.
I'm half suspecting that's what's going to happen, but my guess would be it's Mark.
Yes, it'll probably be Mark.
We built this misting. This misting. Sorry. I'm in a mood. I'm enjoying wrestling. I haven't really watched it in like a week and a half. I'm having fun. I went back and watched certain stuff. Yeah, Big G brings up a question. Where is Satnam Singh? He's a game changer.
He was out. He walked out with him, right? I saw him, and then he's in the building.
Of course, that'd be the first person I eliminated in this match. If I were the House of Black, I would take him out so he couldn't interfere. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're not big enough. Oh, apparently you are. Brody King doing the spot.
Such a great look.
It is, but I do appreciate that he didn't hold it as long as he held it against Darby Allin because Darby's guitar off to the head then through a table because Darby's much smaller, so easier to hold up for a long time. Everybody's laid out except for Mark, and oh no, the railroad spike. I mean, oh, it's a screw. Okay, or a nail. It's a giant nail.
Could be
He's gonna nail him. He's gonna nail him. Mark blocks the nail. I forget what it's called. J Driller. Thank you. I'm very bad at that. don't know why certain names just don't stick in my head no matter how many times I hear it. And I should remember that one. But now he's got the nail.
Ooh.
Julius. Oh no. Mark jumped off a chair, did a flip, and got caught. That was actually well done. And now the table is on fire. They got to move quick. Because if I remember anything from when Edge and them did this, that fire goes out quickly. Through the flaming table. And all the way through. I wonder what they use to make that flame go so quickly. I know it's lighter, like, is it special lighter fluid or is it the normal type? I've never lit lighter fluid like that to know how quickly it lasts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the match.
Yeah, Karen Jarrett got dressed in full gear for that little spot.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Hey, that's your street fight wear.
Well, I know Mark 1LT photo saying Mark got burned. I know he like it can tell you got really burned, but that fire burns out really quick. So it's not a matter of heat or deadliness, just what do they use? But apparently it's normal lighter fluid. All right, well, that has been the collision for March 9th, 2024. This was a fun episode. What'd you think about it, Joe?
It was a good rebound from last week. I felt like last week was a little bit of a down collision. In comparison to usually collisions had been on a roll I felt like for a while, and then last week was a little bit. It was fine. It was just fair, but this one had a lot of star power behind it with Danielson on it. You had Christian, you had Adam Copeland, you had FTR. So there's a lot of people on this one that I liked.
Yeah, it was good. All right, so I enjoyed it too. I thought the same. I didn't see last week, so it's hard for me to say it's a rebound. But it's still I enjoyed this week, so I'm going to say it's a good rebound. Actually, I didn't see last week, but it's good. I really enjoyed it. I'm loving the setup for a bunch of feuds. I'm liking Ospreay, Danielson, Pac versus Okada. Now we got some good FTR, and the infantry was very pumped about seeing the infantry. So I'm fun about all of this. All right, Joe, we're gonna wrap it up. Where can we find you when it's not Saturday night?
When it's not Saturday night, you can find me on Wednesday night for our Mark Order podcast show, which will be a big one this Wednesday after Big Business. Other than that, you can find me on social media @_Asian Joe. In my bio, I have a link to my serial review blog. If you want to check that out for me, I appreciate it. Other than that, Ryan, what about you? Where are we going to look for you at?
Hiding someplace in a dark corner. But other than that, you can find me here every Wednesday at 10:15 for our show. Then I'm on all our socials @MarkOrderPod. And then if you like history and you like me, you can follow my history blog here for history.com @_here for history. I should have a new one coming out relatively soon. I'm hoping to have some free time to actually read and write and maybe do arithmetic. But that's it. With that, hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I'll do the outro, Joe, because I have to be in here anyway. Commercial overlay. Oh, wait, real quick. I'm in the wrong thing. Thank you, chat. Thanks, Big G, 1LT Photo, Scott George. I don't think that's chat enough. Anyone else who was in here, you guys are the mainstays. So really, Pluggo was in here for a little bit. Really appreciate you guys coming in and chatting with us. Makes it a lot more fun to talk and interact with the chat. So I really appreciate that. All right, now you guys are going to hear me do the overlay stuff again. I'm gonna put the outro overlay, and then
This concludes the Mark Order podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled